What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome to Gunner's Profiles, where we really get it in. You know we're about to get it in a menudo style, in a direct fashion. You know, if you knew better, you do better. That's why you're right here. You're getting your mind right so you can shine right. Knowledge you can't get in college. Now, you see that thumbnail right there? Gang attire. It said dress code. What to wear and what not to wear in the streets of Califas. Now, it's been like this for many, many moons, many, many ages, for a long time. Colors. Colors. Let me tell you something about colors. They ain't never mattered to me, but they were identifiers. They were symbolisms of your neighborhood, your barrio, your turf, whatever the case may be, wherever you were from. We could tell by what you was wearing on your hat, by what you was wearing on your chest on that you got impressed on, by what you were rocking. If you were rocking a blue flag or a red paño or whatever the case may be. It's like, yeah, what right there? You see this what over there? Guard! That was from the other side, right? Definitely you knew what was up. But nowadays, see, things have changed. Times have changed. You can't tell anymore. You can meet someone, hey, Sasuke, where you from? Oh, what, you can't tell? No, I say your nails are purple, pink, yellow, green. I don't know where you're from. But at the same time, in the meantime, in between time, that's why I'm asking this. I'm just trying to figure it out. We're going to get straight to the gusto. CB4. Now, what's happening with it? You know, back in my days, and to be serio with you, my neighborhood was classic. You know, same old gang attire, red, everything. You know what I mean? Watch out. Let me show you guys. This is how we rock, Tommy. You know what I mean? This is what it was. This is what you could catch me in daily. You know, I was doing it in that fashion. You know, I was read it out. You know, and if I see about to wearing this, I was going to go ahead and trip out one time for his man. I was going to have to hit him up and see where he was from because everybody wore those. And you could be from anywhere doing that. Now, of course, if I seen about to wearing Dodgers or Lakers, and I myself am a big Laker fan, go Kobe, rest in peace, right? That was kind of identifier that you were from down south, Southern California, and there was going to be repercussions for them actions up north, you know, and vice versa. I'm sure if a Vato went there wearing all 49ers and he wasn't from San Fernando Valle, Vatos are going to trip. Now, down south, the gang attire is a little bit different than, say, up north. Up north, we all wear red. It is what it is. It's just the gang color. And not even necessarily gang color. It's just, even myself, I still wear red. Sometimes it's hard to take the gangster about the gang member, right? It's hard to take it up out there. Hey, flamed up to your banged up. Now that's hard. And that's just what it is. But down in Southern California is a little bit different. You know, there's some neighborhoods that are considered red rag Sureños or Sureños that rock red, you know. Culver City being one of them. Some parts of Florencia, east side of Wilmas, you know, the Red Steps in San Diego. There's just different areas that have different color preferences because it's based on their barrio and what they've been doing, not what they just started doing. You know, I told the story before. I went into a Chiques and I met a chick. Ooh, man, I still can't get her. That bubbleization was real. You think you busted down with a tortilla, you don't know nothing, right? I didn't know about that. You know, I'd gladly trade one of my baby mamas for two of her. Now look at, you know, can I trade a baby mama for just one of you for one day? Now trip out. She was that bad. Man, I'm reminiscing now. Now, Spencer, I'm off track. Go hard. I'm all tore up. Look, I got there and I remember I was wearing a Raiders jersey. You know, I'm a Raiders fan. What it is, you know, Howie Long, stand up. And I was doing my little Raider thing. And when I woke up in the morning at her pad, I went outside to smoke a frajo. She had a little porch and she was like, hey, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean? I'm smoking a frajo. You know what I mean? The dumbalization was real last night. You did that. You know, I commend you. Can you make me some eggs? She was like, look, you can't wear that here. And I said, why? And she was like, you don't understand. People are going to trip. And I said, nah, grind trip. This is Raiders for life. I don't care about none of that. She goes, no. It gets deeper than that. Here, wear this. She threw my Emmitt Smith jersey. I threw a Cowboy jersey on. Like, I don't even like the Cowboy. But I'll wear it. Right? And luckily I did because Vatos walked by and they were looking at me like, what's up, Bessie? I was like, all right. Blowing the frau, trying to be an undercover brother, right? I wasn't trying to do too much. I was out of bounds. That's saying I already know when you're out of bounds, you don't say too much. Don't start no funk, won't be no funk, right? You got to stay chilling. Now, trip out. When I finally found out the reasons behind this, I understood that South Oxnard, they wore White Sox. At Rio, that area, they wore Raiders. And of course, Chiques, Colonia, all that, they wore Cowboys. And they're pretty religious about that there. You know, you can get caught slipping from wearing the wrong jersey, the wrong color in that area, and bad things can happen to you. No, I didn't say allegedly. Seriously, right? And that's just how it is. Now, there's certain areas up north in Northern California where if you rock certain teams or certain attire, man, people would trip too. You know, I remember Garden Block, Sacra, Garden Block, stand-up, Barrio Gardons, they wore teal blue or even the green color at some points in time because they were so closely associated with the Garden Block Crips. And I remember we always tripped off that. What about wearing a blue paño? It was kind of baby bluish. And some wore green. It was just a different thing. I know some Vatos and some wore a burgundy paño. And that's just how it was. You know, it's gang attire, it's gang dress code. You know, Southern California does it more so than up north does. And that's a fact. You know, it's always been like that. If you're wearing the wrong team, the wrong logo in the wrong area, they're going to take it as disrespect or that you're representing something else and you're going to come up short. We already know. Pacas, bam, the P. Pacoima, boom. Paramount, boom, the P. Any Vato that starts with the P, a lot of them are the Pirates or the Phillies or whatever the case may be. It's not even about a color thing down there. And a lot of people get it mixed up. See, Norteños, it's a color thing for us. You know, me, I never tripped out colors. I can wear whatever I want because that's my mentality. And having done time down south, I kind of got adapted to, you know, I'm going to do what I does, cuz. But at the end of the day, in a menudo style, I understood, you know, certain things you can't do it. You know, I told the story. I got beat up in Modesto. I took knocked out, you know, over a Lakers jersey. It's just what it was. People trip, you know, and hey, everyone's different. You can't call it like an alcoholic. But I know down in Southern California, it's a real thing. It's a real righteous thing. You know, people wear certain team logos and certain colors to identify with that barrio. And you will get caught slipping if you wear something. You know, I went to the San Fernando Valle a couple times, and a lot of autos were wearing San Francisco 49ers guys. Damn, this is our homies right here. No, right? Straight Southsiders. But that's for San Fernando Valle, you know, San Francisco 49ers. So they identify with that. And there's a lot of different things, and I could sit here all day and go into the extensive collection in my mind of every different team logo for every different barrio. You know, but that's not neither here nor there. The case is, in California, it gets down like that, and it goes down like that. All over a color or a team. You can't get caught lacking wearing the wrong stuff in the wrong spot because Vatos will trip. They'll get to slipping and to clipping and get to spitting. Allegedly, it happens. Now, I remember one situation. You know, there was a Vato, he had got to the school. We were young kids. I remember he was older than us. He was in junior high. And I remember he had moved to the neighborhood with some familia. And I automatically assumed by looking at this guy, Del Vato was a Southsider. Del Vato wore Dodgers, Ben Davises, and everything. Come to find out, he was none of that. He was just a Dodger fan. And say, or Hershiser, right? He was just a Dodger fan. But I watched that guy get jumped on days and days and days in a row over the colors he was wearing or over the team logo he was wearing, to eventually Del Vato said, fuck this, and just wear an Oakland A's jersey. He said, I'm cool, right, with all that. He switched it on up. Now, I myself have always been looked at funny style or a different way because I rock Lakers or I rock Kings, you know, or I rock Raiders. And, you know, I've always had, that's just been my teams. You know, I can't call it like an alcoholic. It's just the teams that I roll with. And everyone always looked at me funny. Why you always got them Southern teams? I said, hey, the Raiders are in Oakland. No, they're not. Yeah, but you're wearing the LA Raider jersey. Yeah, they were better then. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. You know, orderly Bo Jackson. You know, you got to understand, some people do it just because they can and because they want to, but there's certain areas and certain places you shall not and you shouldn't. You know, and why? Because it's what's beneficial for your life. It's what's safe for you. You don't want to be in an area like, say, back in the days, Magic Mountain, wearing the wrong colores or wearing the wrong team logos, because it used to get funky at Magic Mountain. Those that remember. I've been to Magic Mountain, that's it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I had to tuck my Mongolian in one time. I said, "Oh man, these autos right here are deep. They're checking paperwork you thought, man. I feel like I'm in the Yarda no Folsom. They ain't playing out there. Knott's Berry Farm too. Vatos to get off where they're mad at. You know, I remember Magic Mountain was more so gangbanging because you had all the Vatos from Los coming down there. Then you had the Vatos from the 805 that would go to Magic Mountain. It was vicious. Same thing up north in Northern California. We had a little spot, the wind blew, called Great America. And in Great America, you had everyone from the Bay Area and you had everyone from the Valle. And that was our one spot, and that's where we wiggled, right? And I remember I got into it a couple times. Now, the one spot that we used to go to, or we used to try not to go to, but when we went to, we used to get into it 100% mandatory, was Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. If you were wearing the wrong colors there, you were going to get jammed up. I don't know what happened, how it happened, why it happened, but it happened. God, I said it happened, but it happened. Somewhere in the early 90s, when I was locked up incarcerated in YA, the Southsiders decided to plant their flag in Santa Cruz at the boardwalk. Them Vatos took the boardwalk down. They owned it. It was them. They were the last boys. They were the vampires sucking out the sangre right there on the boardwalk. And if you went there as a norteño, they were going to leave you in trouble. Here's a story about it. So I get out of YA, 1996. I'm chilling, man. And I remember I had a homeboy, and he had a clean 64 Impala red. Shoo! I said, Young G's in the hood trying to come up. It was like the one on the 17 Reasons album, drop top y toda mine. Clean. Can I drive it? He's like, you got a license? I mean, come on, bro. Let me drive it, bro. I'm an Norteño, man. Mess with me. The homeboy let me drive it. We went to Santa Cruz. There was like 10 of us, 2 carloads deep. And right from the gate, you get there, we parked it. Let me tell you something. Rain was on us. It's upstate for reals, right? And it was because of the colors and everything that we were doing. We were identifying ourselves. You know, homeboys had on 49ers, Raiders, Red Paños, Huelga Verdito, right? And these vatos spotted us, so they got at us. This was probably, and I've been in a lot of riots and I've been in a lot of melees in my life. This was probably one of the most violent and vicious ones because it was on the calles and anything went. I was trying to hit a vato with cotton candy. For some reason, it didn't do nothing to him. I don't know why. Maybe it was a little too fluffy, right? But I was popcorn here. Starts getting a churro, puto, right? We were going at it, man. We turned over carts. You know, there was a paisa vendor. He was like, no, right? He was mad. It was an ugly situation. We were rumbling, the Royal Rumble. And all that because we were easily identified by the colors we were wearing and the team logos and things we were wearing. See, then Vatos, we would have spotted them too, though. Vatos wore Dodgers, and, you know, Vatos had, you know, back in then, Golden State sucks, so no one cared about the Warriors. But Vatos had Dodgers on, and they had Cowboys jerseys on, and, hey, we're talking about Vatos that ain't never even been to Dallas. Won't never go to Dallas, ain't never seen Dallas, but all of a sudden he's a Dodger fan and a Cowboy fan, you know, up out of Los and Dallas, Texas. And that's just what it is. A lot of these people that wear these colors when they're gang members, it's not because they love that team or because they rock behind that team 100%. You'll see a vato that wear a different team every day. Now, me myself, you'll see it. I'm different. I pledge allegiance to the Laker fans from the United States of America. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna wear whatever logos, whatever teams I want. But I know when I go into certain areas and certain situations, what to wear and what not to wear. And it's not being a coward and being a punk and being a poop, but what it is being smart, being aware, and knowing not to disrespect other people, because people would take it as disrespect. You know, there's hats and certain things you can wear that's disrespectful towards the audio. You know, here I am over here, I'm wearing the Expo. So that means I'm going to expo your shit out, right? And they ain't feeling that. So you got to understand in California, and I'm sure it's like this in a lot of other states, the East Coast, I can't even begin to wonder, Texas, just every state where people rock, where there's raza and Africano brothers, and yes, the Woods, brother Sprinkle. We rock too, brother, right? Hey, we got off on like 4 dudes because they were wearing Twisted Sister shirts, and we're not going to take it. I said, no, we ain't going to take it. Metallica versus Twisted Sister. Let's go. Let's say, I'm telling you, everyone has what they wear and the reasons why they do it. And if you're wearing the wrong attire, especially in the state of California, they can get aggressive on you real bad. Now, I notice nowadays it's a little different. You know, it's a different era and a different genre of people, the way people dress. You know, you can't tell who's hard and who's not. Vatos wearing some slippery ass pants. I mean, these vatos are slick with their pants. These pants are tighter than tight. You spell it 3 times word. They're tight, right? Vatos got the funny haircut with the linea. And I understand back in the days we had Mongolians and fades and bald head cuts with tattoos all over our heads. And of course, you know, that was, that vato right there, he's a gangbanger. You could tell he's a Mongolian from here to Tompolin. You already knew what it was. But nowadays, it's like, I don't know what this vato is until he pulls out something out of his pants with an extendo. And then you're like, I know exactly what that is, right? That's just how it is nowadays. It's changed. It's different. But one thing that will never change is certain vatos rock certain things. And it's up to you to become aware of that. Because you can find yourself in a bad situation and find yourself up short. You know, just because you wore the wrong team logo. So the best thing for you to do as a grown man, you know, you're entitled to do whatever you want because you're a person, you're people. Know your surroundings, man, and just don't wear no team logos and things when you go into certain neighborhoods. Now, I will go in Southern California, not out of disrespect, but out of respect for the people. There's certain colors I will not wear, certain team things I will not wear because I know what's up. Vatos run me down. Hey, Vato, you come wear that hat over here because, hey, they'll pull your cap. Is that right? They got hit one of these on him. Watch out. Sauce. Let's go, right? No, you're not. At least I'm going to have a chance to pull mine before you pull yours. Allegedly. I'm talking slingshots. That's all I'm eligible for. But anyways, you know, just certain areas do that. I remember back in the days, you know, we trip off homeboys. They just because they were wearing Miami Dolphins jerseys. Orale, Dan Maria. Whoa, hold on now. Is that a 13 on there? You know, of course, Holmes. But now, hey, but Vato could wear Pete Rose and he was all good, right? Even though Pete Rose was cheating and stealing and all that, right? It's all about numbers. It's all about teams. I remember the homeboy used to wear the number 14. I think it was Trent Dilfer, some sorry ass quarterback for the Niners. He thought he was all cool. I was like, man, where'd you get that, Taramate? One time for your mentality. It's just how it is. I could sit here and tell you story after story of certain situations where people were hurt. Now, let me tell you something. One of the most tragic things that ever happened in my life that I think about every day was, of course, the case that I was involved in to send me to Hawaii, the murder. And I remember that day, again, that's why I say watch what you wear in the state of California, watch what you do. I remember, it was a Norteño party, and I wouldn't even notice this guy. He would have been just like everyone else. But because he was wearing a black Cascade jacket with a blue shirt under it, with the word fool, right? That's how I knew something right there just wasn't quite right. But I automatically, you got all these guys wearing red and everything. And you know what? And at the end of the day, I respect him for being true to his cause and being true to the man he is. And wear whatever you want to wear. You're a grown man. Can't no one dictate your program and tell you what not to wear. But hey, man, that's why people get put in the situations they're in now. Because of that. That right there ruined a whole bunch of people's lives. Not because of the way he was dressed. He's entitled to do whatever. It's because it brought awareness to him. It brought a target to his back. It shined light on him. And when that happens, man, it gets horrible and it gets ugly fast. That's why I watch what I wear now. I'm a grown man. I have children. When I'm in public with my kids, I don't want people looking at me any old way. If I could throw a sweater on and cover my tattoos, I do that. Back in the days, we wanted tattoos to look cool. I said we wanted to be that one. I want to be all sleeved down. I was in the pinta. You wanted everyone to know that you did a little term in the pen on a 4 or 3 yard, 2 yards, and one do not count, right? You wanted everyone to know that you were that one. But at the end of the day, now as you get older and you have children and grandchildren and old ladies, you don't want to put them in that type of situation because of your baboso mouth, because of what you've done and how you look. So you cover it up. That's not being a punk. That's not being undercover. That's being a man and looking out for you and yours, because you don't want your family to have to go through the suffering and the situations because of you, because of what you've done. It's unfortunate, but it happens all the time. So the gang attire in California is a big thing. There's a dress code. The dress code is no shorts above the knees or the thunder down under. And you can't do none of that. Just be yourself, man. Be real. Be true to who you are. And just know that every area you go in, man, there's going to be someone that's going to push up on you for wearing the wrong thing. It started way back with Ice-T and Colors and Racket Don't Smoke and Racket Don't Josie, Racket Bust the Cap on the, oh, hell no, right? And that's just what it was. Crips and Bloods, blue and red, north and south, identified with the colores, right? Why? We can go into an extensive history lesson, but this ain't knowledge that you're going to get in college, I'm going to say right now, because that's a story for another day, something that a lot of people have already spoken on. But one thing is for sure, man, I definitely watch what I wear. And if you're in the state of California and you're with that gang attire and you're really with it, you better watch what you wear. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, if you're wearing a Lakers hat and you're in Northern California, more than likely, you better be a real Kobe fan or they're going to bop you. Then vice versa. If you go to Southern California, orale, where are you in LV? Us Norteños live violently. Go down there and be a running rebel. And see if they had to run over you, rebel. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. If you like this, hit that like and subscribe one time for your mentality. If not, thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. And look, I can't even begin to tell you if you wear bulldog stuff, you're going to get it anywhere you go. They be tripping. You know what I mean? That's crazy. With that being said, hit me with that like or hit me with the thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for what I honestly and truly believe in. And that's the coming together of all people. Other than today, I'm wearing bootleg Louis Vuitton. It be like that sometimes. This is the gun. Hit it. Bang, bang. Raza.